Hello, welcome back to Storytime at Nana's house. It's so very good to have you here once again. The book I want to share right now is called The Elves and the Shoemaker. Are you ready? Let's read. There was once an old shoemaker who lived with his wife. Although they worked from dawn until dusk every day, they were very poor. We only have enough leather to make one more pair of shoes to sell, the shoemaker told his wife one evening. "What will become of us then?" asked the shoemaker's wife. "How can we live without money?" The shoemaker shook his head sadly. He cut out the leather and left it on his workbench, ready to start work the next morning. Then the couple went to bed with heavy hearts. In the middle of the night, when the house was quiet and the pale moonlight shone into the workshop, two elves appeared. They were dressed in rags but had eyes as bright as buttons. They explored the workshop, balancing on balls of thread and peering into cupboards. Soon they found the leather and they set to work at once, snipping and sewing. And as they worked, they sang, "Busy little elves are we, working by the pale moonlight, while the humans are asleep. We are busy through the night." By dawn, the little elves had finished their work and disappeared. When the shoemaker came to start working the next morning, he could not believe his eyes. There, on his workbench, was the finest pair of shoes he had ever seen. "The stitches are so delicate," he said, as he showed his astonished wife the beautiful shoes. "I will place them in my window for everyone to see." Wow! That's so cool. Oh my goodness. Soon, a rich gentleman walked by the shop. He saw the stylish shoes and came inside. The rich gentleman tried on the shoes and they fit perfectly. He was so delighted that he gave the shoemaker twice the asking price. "I can buy more leather," said the shoemaker to his wife. "But who could be helping us?" she replied. That evening, the shoemaker cut out the leather for 2 pairs of shoes and left them on the workbench for the next morning. In the middle of the night, the 2 elves appeared again. They climbed on tools and swung from shoelaces. Soon, they found the leather and set to work, snipping and sewing. As they worked, they sang, "Busy little elves are we, working by the pale moonlight. While the humans are asleep, we are busy through the night." By dawn, the elves had finished their work and disappeared once again. The shoemaker came into his workshop and found the shoes neatly finished on his bench. The shoemaker placed them in his window. By now, the rich gentleman had told his friends about the shoemaker's fine work. The 2 pairs of shoes sold that same day for more money than the shoemaker could have ever dreamed about. That evening, the shoemaker cut out the leather for 4 more pairs of shoes. Then the shoemaker and his wife hid and waited. In the middle of the night, they watched in amazement as the 2 elves appeared. They danced with ribbons and juggled beads. Soon they found the leather and set to work snipping and sewing. As they worked, they sang, "Busy little elves are we, working by the pale moonlight, while the humans are asleep. We are busy through the night." "We must repay our little helpers for their kindness," said the shoemaker's wife. "But how?" They were both dressed in rags. "Why don't we make them some fine new clothes?" "That's a wonderful idea," said the shoemaker. Although they were now very busy in their shop, the shoemaker and his wife spent every spare moment they had making their gift for the elves. They cut out fine cloth and leather and sewed tiny seams. They crafted miniature buttons and knitted with toothpicks. At last they had made 2 little pairs of trousers, 2 smart coats, 2 sturdy pair of boots, and 2 warm woolly scarves. They wrapped the little outfits in paper and left them on the workbench for the elves to find. That night, when the house was quiet and the pale moonlight shone into the workshop, the shoemaker and his wife hid and waited. They watched happily as the 2 little elves appeared. As usual, the elves explored the workshop. They made a tightrope from thread and bounced on a pincushion. Soon they found the tiny little outfits. They were delighted. They put on the trousers, the coats, the boots, and the scarves and danced merrily around the room. As they danced, they sang, "Busy little elves are we, working by the pale moonlight. While the humans are asleep, we are busy through the night." And then the smart little elves put on their hats and disappeared. The shoemaker and his wife never saw the little elves again, but the couples continued to make fine shoes for their shop, and from that day on, they always prospered. That's the end of that. Oh, and Anna really liked that story, and I hope that you did too. It is time for me to go, my friend, but before I do, I just want to encourage you to continue letting your light shine by being kind. Until next time, take care of yourselves. God bless you. And remember that this Nana right here loves you. Take care.